And to say, what should we do with the young people who just come into work? And I mean, think about it. The money they take out from every young person's paycheck, if they could be put into better investment vehicles, you get a better returns.
The birth rate with the one-child policy in China compared to the birth rate in the U.S., where it's declining. It's not quite at 1, but right now, like in New Hampshire, it's about 1.3 and it's still declining.
Like I would say 400 million babies were aborted by one-child policy. And it was horrible. It was inhuman. Over the years, I think our culture has shifted. And I think there is some kind of a moral decline, and we don't value nuclear family as much as in the past. And also, used to be dad would be working, mama can choose stay home, have kids, and raise family. But now mom just cannot do that anymore. Unfortunately, I have to tell you, my son worked for a big bank for 10 years. His job was replaced by AI.
Wow, the whole thing?
They should not pick winners, losers, continue to use tax dollar to subsidize private companies. So private companies, if they want to do this, investors want to invest in this, and then open up. Think about in a few years, we're gonna shoot for $60 trillion national debt. Are you kids, if you get married later, are you kids gonna inherit any economic opportunities, or they're gonna inherit this national debt? They cannot raise, they have to pay interest. We're gonna face superinflation. The federal government spending is out of control, and both parties are responsible. Even though I'm running as Republican, but I call out my own party too. They don't leave you alone. They pass laws, they print money, they affect your life, they affect your gas prices, your housing prices, your family costs. And so you have no choice. As American citizen, you have to get engaged. You have to participate. If we try our best, I think we can win, because it's just up to, I'm just one person. My ability is limited. But you, like today, you are a total stranger to me. You are interview me to have a conversation with me. I really appreciate it.
Welcome to the Lily Tang interview. I'm your host, Richard Kaufer. Today we are here with the Congresswoman running for the 2nd Congressional District in New Hampshire, Lily Tang Williams. Thank you for being here today, Lily Tang Williams.
Well, it's my pleasure. I'm not your congresswoman yet.
Congressional candidate, yes.
I'm running for that position, and I ran also previously, last cycle, 2024. I got 47% of the votes without any TV ads, because I did not have money to buy a TV ad. So I feel like there's a voice talking to me and say, you gotta run again, you cannot quit now, you just went viral. So here I am.
Yes. Tell me a little bit about yourself, your past experience, and everything leading up to today.
Yeah, I was born and grew up in Communist China, and I lived there until I was about 24 years old. 2 months before my 24th birthday, I managed to, I feel like escape, but I managed to quit my job, got permission to leave the country on F1 student visa to come here to study a master's degree in University of Texas at Austin. And but my true intention is that I just want to leave the country, because I woke up and after so many years there, I need to live under freedom. I don't want to live in a one-party totalitarian state controlled by Chinese Communist Party. Even though I was a law school faculty member, a part of the regime, part of government, top 5 universities. But imagine that, I was faculty member, I work for government, but I need my boss, a Communist Party, they have committee on every department, the boss to give my permission to quit my job, to go get a passport, and sign the agreement to leave, to make promises. Think about that. It's like I even did not own myself. So I've been here for a long time now, and I really love this country, love the people, and over the years, I got married, got my degree, raised 3 wonderful children. When I got laid off and I started my own business, and I have been self-employed for many years, and I say some things happening in this country, I really are worried, make me worried and concerned, and I say the best way for me to get back to serve the people is by running for public office and tell my story so we can prevent this country from going down this path of socialist. Basically, I see, and since Obama, I called this out 12 years ago. We don't want this country to go down that path, become the country I left. And here we are, you have more and more young people, especially your generation, they don't understand the difference here, So I'm looking forward to have a conversation with you.
Yes, of course. What do you think are like the top issues you would address to the people of New Hampshire's 2nd District that are a priority?
Mm-hmm. It's always kitchen table issues, and for the homeowners, number one is the property taxes too high, and the energy prices so costly. When you put those two together, really, people are having a hard time to make ends meet. I just found out this woman, 81 years old, she cannot afford to retire. She has to work, just pay taxes, like for her home. And of course, young people have a different kind of worries. They are worried about, like your generation, Gen Z, are worried about, where's my American dream? How about my job, my career, my future? I cannot afford to buy, I cannot afford to rent. Gas price is too high. And it's very sad. One guy told me at the Nashua GOP, like a candidate's night, American dream is dead. Yes, like I said, no, don't say that yet. I said, you're young. I said, I am a face of American dream. Come here 38 years ago with $100 borrowed, in debt $1,200. I did all these things. I'm running for Congress here. It's like this is still best country. It's just there are lots of issues. We're trying to put the brain together to fix it. But don't give up yet, because I have traveled all over the world. This is still the best country. There's no place that I could do this, what I'm doing here. So that's depends on which generation you talk to, but definitely it's those basic, fundamental, like affordability, kitchen table issues. Mm.
Yeah. As of now, the Iran war is going on. Do you have any opinions on whether there should be de-escalated or it should be ended? I mean, hopefully, maybe something could be resolved by the time it's election day, but it's a very serious issue at the moment in international politics. Yeah,
it's on people's mind too, because that directly relates to also our gas price. You remember it was like a $2 or something in February. Then they called a special operation in Iran happened, and we thought it's going to be short term, like maybe 3-6 weeks and 2 months. But now here, you're talking about 6 months later, and the situation is not stable. I'm hoping stay stable. We are going to use maximum economical sanction pressure to get Iran to really stick to so-called the terms of conditions of the memorandum, the terms they agreed to, then they just throw out the window again. Be honest with you, it is very difficult, I'm sure, to negotiate with terrorists. And if they don't care about their own people, they can kill 40,000 Iranians, and then they might not care about how many more people are going to die. But their economy is tanking, and their inflation is super high. And how long will it take for the local people to rise up? I don't know. But my foreign policy is always peace through strength. We are the #1 shining city on the hill for the world, but we also want to focus on Americans' needs first. I always want to put New Hampshire American first. So by saying that, we should not allow Iran to have nuclear weapons, because they've been chanting death to America for 47 years. But how do we use pressure to build alliances around the world and to pressure them come to the table to negotiate, to stay to the terms they agreed to? it's very challenging. I don't know what the White House or president, because they all have intelligence briefings, the information they have, I don't know because I'm an outsider like you. I'm just like you. But I really want to focus on domestic agendas that I want to focus on. So I'm praying this will come to some kind of agreement, and at least to get them to agree no nuclear weapons, and also just open up the Strait of Hormuz. So that will be good for the energy prices for our people here. So that, we will see what happens. It just it is a kind of difficult situation right now.
Yeah, definitely. It's impacting everybody, as you said, with gas
prices.
Right,
because when your diesel gas prices go up, guess what? Food price go up. Everything goes up, right?
Of course, yeah.
You fly,
yes.
Right. It is of course, keep that in mind. We had very high gas prices even under Biden too, without war. Very high, and because he shut down pipelines, and inflation was super high, and so we have to put that in perspective, but still that we, American first, they elected the Republicans and President Trump because we want to focus on Americans' best interest, put Americans first. And if we get distracted by doing too much overseas, then the people who voted for Republicans, right, it's like, I did not expect this. So I'm hoping we'll come back to the core agenda as soon as possible.
Okay. Another topic. Social Security and Medicare are going to be partially insolvent by 2029 and 2023, respectively. Do you have any ideas on what should be done about these different social programs?
Yeah, it's really a big concern. I read even just for Social Security by 2034. It's not going to be gone. It's just the retirees might face the benefits cut because it's going to be like running out of trust fund. So basically, it's the new generations who are working to pay for the benefits for the retirees. And those retirees work all their lives to pay into systems, thought the money would be there for them, and they plan their retirement around that. So I want to protect those benefits for those people who are paying to system and who are looking to retire very soon or who are already received Social Security. And the people also have to understand when they started this program, it means to be retirement benefits, but that was like 5 workers to pay for 1 retiree. With people live longer, and also less fertility rate in our country. So what talk about now? Now 1 young person like you're working so hard, pay payroll taxes to pay for 1 retiree, and with older generations who come out to retirement, so the prediction is that it would be like a 2.2 young person, working person, taxpayers pay for like a 2.6 retirees. Do your math, it's not gonna work. So how do we reform this thing? Number one, government should never trust, we have to hold the government accountable. All those trust funds are not supposed to be touched and there's no lockbox, but there's supposed to be, there's a lockbox. They invested through Treasury Department, then you get some return and money will be there for you when you retire, use it for Medicare. But there's no lockbox because they do use their money for other purposes because our government has created $40 trillion in debt. So they're always constantly borrow money and then printing money and that drive up inflation. So now you're facing this unfunded liability. So we need to really focus on the government should be held accountable, and we should have honest conversations about how to solve this problem and how to even, for young people, let's say for your generation, and for other people who just enter workforce after 18 years old and start to work and pay taxes and payroll tax go on. You can look at your check, right? How much they withhold, and to say, what should we do with the young people who just come into work? And think about it. The money they take out from every young person's paycheck. if they could be put into better investment vehicles, you get a better returns. So there are some options trying to propose, how to let the people basically more responsible, have a choice to put the money in another so-called private account, and that get a better returns, and it's still in discussion. And other ways also they're talking about maybe means tested and raise the, right now the Social Security payroll tax and stops like maybe at $180,000. After that, it's not, they're not subject to payroll tax withhold. So they're talking about lift that up. So there are lots of proposals. I think we should really come together as a country to talk about this. There are lots of good, smart people with brains, right? And instead of play politics, use for it. And also, they did find out lots of illegal immigrants come here and also get a Social Security card, manage to get on the system that they did not pay into, and ask the Biden administration about that. They're trying to clean up that too.
There's so many illegal border crossings. Yeah, I mean, they were talking millions. I heard 10,
yeah,
over 10 million.
especially in big blue states and cities. They have a section in cities. They give those people, issue them like a driver's license and Social Security number, and there are all kinds of things can happen when they get them in and offer them kind of stuff. They can get on benefits, government welfare, maybe potentially even to vote, and they can, mitigate fraud. Is lots of them. The entitlement, the largest entitlement right now is Social Security, Medicare, and Medicaid. Those are like 65% of our federal budget. If you just right now, according to the discovery, right, you have 6 to 7% of fraud with those entitlements. That's a huge amount of money. Mm-hmm. Those money are supposed to be help our people in need, American citizens. So we need to get rid of that first, and then honestly have a conversation about how we can solve a problem together.
Yeah, definitely. You talked a little bit about the birth rate. Do you see any parallels to the birth rate with the one-child policy in China compared to the birth rate in the U.S., where it's declining? It's not quite at 1, but right now, like in New Hampshire, it's about 1.3, and it's still declining.
Yeah, it's one-child policy ended in 2015. It was probably the worst, I would say 400 million babies were aborted by one-child policy. And it was horrible. It was inhuman. They actually would drag a woman who is about to, come to terms, deliver baby to the abortion table to force them to have abortion. I had actually a roommate in law school. That time she was doing an internship in the hospitals in Shanghai in the 80s. She said she saw forced abortion, infant came out alive, left in trash can, dying and crying, and she had a mental breakdown. She refused to go back there, and so it's just like a horrible. And they realized what they did now actually is causing 30 million Chinese men are single, cannot find women to get married.
The government should have thought about this, like what's going to happen to the men when they get older. They need to find women to...
Oh, that's why if you have girls now, you got to watch for your daughters. They're subject to kidnapping and sell to the men for wives in the countryside. You got to watch them like a hawks. Now they're trying to open up, and now they're actually push people to have a second, a third child, because the population is aging, and no young workers come. There's like it's like you're talking about like 4 grandparents, and their parents, their 1 grandchild. It's upside down. China economy is going through really trouble right now. So for our country, I think the cost is one thing, and also over the years, I think our culture has shifted, and I think there is some kind of a moral decline, and we don't value nuclear family as much as in the past, and also used to be dad would be working, mama can choose stay home, have kids, and raise family, but now mom just cannot do that anymore. So that's the economical issue that we're trying to figure out how to still encourage people and to raise family and think children are wonderful. I mean, we have 3 children and we love them, and we're trying, our daughter's getting married next month, so that, this culture got to continue, because I think a good family, strong nuclear family is foundation of our country. And but how we get the young people be able to afford things. I mean, that's their American dream, right? I mean, like Charlie Kirk said, you want to get a job, have a career, get married, and start a family, raise a couple kids, and buy a house. It's very common sense that's what I had in mind: a house, 2 cars, and we have 3 kids instead of 2, and the typical American dream. And now it looks like today is hard to achieve. It's sad. And I was in the 90s and did all those things, when you look at that, you know why inflation was low that time in the 1990s? Mm-hmm. Congress balanced budget. Under Bill Clinton as president, there's no borrowing, printing money like crazy and drive up inflation. I think my roommate, first house, she told me in the 90s, a single family home in Austin, Texas, in graduate school. She was my roommate graduate school, $90,000. $90,000. Now that house is $500,000. So it's like so that's why there's a lot of things we need to focus on. Of course, COVID just drive up inflation to super high. And we shut down economy in lots of states, and all the government regulations making building new home very expensive. Then you talk about supply and demand, right? You have all those millions and millions of illegals come to this country during my 10 years. They need housing too.
Where did the housing prices?
Yeah, there's a demand for housing, for rental units, and for New Hampshire, it's because our quality of life. All the people moved here during COVID years. They loved here. They buy a house here. You buy cash. Mm. If you are going to compete with those cash buyers in New Hampshire, you cannot win. Mm-hmm. I mean, my neighbor sold for I would say $50,000 over asking price, and somebody come here bought it cash. And so working family, middle class cannot compete. You have to take a loan. You have to go through all the loan process. So I think right now this is something that I want to focus on, to say how can we deregulate, cut the red tapes, don't have to have so many regulations to drive up the cost of building new home. And also, in this new housing bill they just passed, and they also want to limit the big corporations, hedge funds to buy single-family homes. There'll be some kind of limit. And also that if we can really cut the government spending and trying to even work towards less deficit spending, maybe eventually balance budget, and maybe we will drive down the interest rate. Because when interest rate comes down, mortgage rate come down, and then local zonings also have to lose up some control. Because in New Hampshire, it's both the local zoning board and some state regulations affect the housing. So local level and the state and the federal level should work together to bring down cost of housing. And our young people can come here or stay here after graduation to afford to rent, to buy, to stay here with family, because it's a great state to raise family.
Absolutely, mm-hmm. Yeah. I love the state, you love the state. Mm-hmm. Another topic, artificial intelligence. What are your views on it? Of course, it's been going on for the past at least decade or so. In one sense, they say that technology causes automation to bring down inflation, but at the same time, it takes away jobs. So.
It means this AI, artificial intelligence, seems like all of a sudden, also with data centers, all of a sudden it's just everywhere, yes. Right? Mm-hmm. Unfortunately, I have to tell you, my son worked for a big bank for 10 years. Mm-hmm. His job was replaced by AI.
Wow, the whole thing? Wow.
His department is gone. And he was really depressed for a long time. He was basically got fired back in March, and still looking for work and unemployment. And he said more and more jobs probably will be replaced by AI. He's not going back to banking job. He was doing, research for business and investors or something, and he wants to do something different. So we have to look at AI. I mean, if it's the thing, you cannot stop it. I mean, we use AI to do lots of research ourselves,
that's
right?
the dilemma. Yeah, it's like it
It's
could be
very
beneficial.
efficient sometimes. So I do lots of research use AI. I use Super Grok most time because I pay for premium account. And so I think it's like the 90s internet. You cannot stop it. It's here. And how can we use that positively? How can we use that to increase efficiency? Without subsidy, I don't want our federal government. Federal government is broke.
Yes.
They may mismanage our money terribly. They should not pick winners, losers, continue to use tax dollars to subsidize private companies. So private companies, if they want to do this, investors want to invest in this, and then open up. And free market competition is the best way, actually, for capitalism to work. But you cannot pick winners and losers, then it's not a leveled playing field. So I want to get the government out of it and let the private investors and companies compete. But then we need to have an oversight, maybe some guardrails, like okay, who owns the data? Let's say the data centers build and use AI, and all the data centers have your data, and who owns them? How about our First Amendment right? Our privacy, our civil liberties, are they going to be protected? And when it comes to data centers, how they're going to affect environment, water, and electricity rates. So all those legitimate concerns of regular citizens, they need to be addressed, answered, and local input is important. I mean, right now, basically in New Hampshire, we really don't have that capacity to host any like those big data centers because our electricity is so expensive, right? Maybe there are some market ways, and maybe they can build their own. Maybe they will even contribute to bring down, the local people's electricity rate. And so there are lots of things that we need to talk about. That's why domestic agendas are very important. I think for me to say, we need to talk about this. We need more conversations. We need more discussions. We need more debates. Not just let something or government or big corporation just push down on us. Because that's how people feel now. The little guys get pushed out of the conversations. And I'm holding a Ask Me Anything town hall cross city too, to say, I want to have conversations. Republican, Democrats, Independents, all can come. And young people host debate on college campuses. Because sometimes if I don't know something, at least I can try to answer to you, look into your eyes, look at your face to say, you know what, that's a good point. I will go back, do some research, and get back to you. And I invite people to give me their input. If they're expert in this area, like some people are, right? Tell me about it, and pros and cons, and let's discuss. And let's jointly come up with some kind of solutions. I think that should be the American way.
Yeah, absolutely. Do you think that the $40 trillion deficit is something we should be concerned about now, or the main concern you think is
very concerned?
I guess maybe control it, like try not to create any more deficit.
Right.
Yes.
On my website, lilyforcongress.com. Under issues, you can see my Lily's 10-point good government plan. I print it all the time, simple 10 points. And the number one, of course, is term limit. I urge my opponent, Maggie Gallagher, Congresswoman, to sign it. She said she supports, but she has not signed the pledge. I signed the pledge with the U.S. term limits. Limit the terms so that no career politician. Who benefits from a 30, 40 years career politician in Congress?
Who?
Special interest lobbyists. They know you. They know what you like. They might even know your dirt, and they can blackmail you. And they will offer their bills for you to vote for. Maybe after they retire, leave Congress, they can go work for them, make $500,000 to $1 million a year. no career politician. That's what our founding fathers intended. They used to work 6 months every 2 years when the country just, started. So term limit, single issue bills only. Let's say there's a single issue about housing, right? There's no other crazy stuff, craps in it. Then you can give me your input to, as a citizen, to say, I like this, I don't like that. You and I, you will give me input if I'm your congresswoman. And that's important. But if you got 3,000 pages bills, they call the omnibus, continuing resolution, and there's no budgeting process, like a U.S. House #1 function is to go through appropriation process, come up with 12 bills. When was last time they did that? Congress has failed to do their job. That's why their approval rating extremely low. And also, I did mention about, balanced budget. How do we balance budget? Senator Rand Paul already has a plan. For every dollar, you cut 6 pennies, called a 6 penny plan. If you are in debt, your family, your business in debt, don't you think you can easily cut 6%? When I got laid off, I cut 20% of my family discretionary spending expenses because we lost one income. And only federal government can print money, borrow money without limit and get into debt. So if we follow that 6 penny plan, we will balance budget in 5 years. Then we'll maybe have a little bit extra to pay down national debt. Right now, our payment on national debt, interest alone, is over $1 trillion. $1 trillion on the interest alone, because interest rate is high right now. You have accounting business, right?
Yes.
Think about how does that work? When you buy a house, every month you only pay the interest. Your principal just not touch it, so you don't own the house.
Yes.
You continue to pay, you're a slave, right? So, I really think this debt issue is a big one. Lots of people are not talking about it. And lots of young people, they are easily persuaded by Democrat socialists and to say, we need the government to do free stuff here, there.
It will make it worse in that case.
But where's the money come from? We have to borrow, we have to print. Because they want to more spending, but not really cutting government. So there's no money. So they will keep printing. Then inflation goes high. And then you're worried about affordability. It's not consistent. It does not make sense. We have to tie our belts. On everybody's head right now, that the national debt is over $110,000 on each baby who just born as Americans. Think about in a few years, we're going to shoot for $60 trillion national debt. Are you kids, if you get married later, are you kids going to inherit any economic opportunities, or they're going to inherit this national debt? They cannot breathe. They have to pay interest. We're going to face superinflation. The federal government spending is out of control. And both parties are responsible, even though I'm running as Republican, but I call out my own party too, because they're the ones who have been in charge, either Democrat, Republican, Democrat, but country's debt keep going up, right? So both are responsible. We have to call them out on that. So I hope people will check out all my good points here, that including, of course, that strict lobby ban. Just like I said, Congress people become lobbyists after they leave office. So when there are Congress man and woman, the lobbyists want them to pay and to vote for their bills, give them special perks and benefits. They do it, and later they have a job waiting for them. I think that's really a conflict of interest and corruption, because you are elected by your voters in your district. You should not do that. At least to put some. I want a lifetime ban, but if there's discussion about how about a 5 to 10 years ban or something, we can talk about that. But right now, there's nothing. They go straight, sometimes to lobby. They're friends. It's just not long ago for the special interest. That's why you and I pay bills, and we even don't know who are they, and those lobbyists that persuade your Congress people to vote for their bills. And you don't have time to read the bills either, And so, this national debt, I think it's really a serious issue. It just doubled in the past 10 years. So when you ask government to be your savior, to give you more free stuff, then you got to come up the way, how are we going to pay for it, right? Like I understand, some progressive have valid point. They say people are suffering, especially working class, middle class, 9 to 5 young people. They have good worries, but we need to really discuss the solutions. You cannot just promise everything, and then where does the money come from? I'm like you. I want to focus on the numbers.
You figure a balanced budget, make sure you have everything that's appropriate.
And you got to cut all the waste, fraud, abuse. And also, there are lots of federal agencies. They're redundant. How many administrative agencies are there?
I think Elon Musk.
Hundreds. Elon Musk, Doge, what they discover, sometimes they're not codified by the Congress, And it's like, can you believe today we are still sending $40 million a week to Taliban? Why?
Yeah, there's no reason for that.
Yeah, why? And to stop,
And it's taxpayer money too. I mean,
our veterans are homeless. Our homeless here are suffering. We could use their money. I want the money taxpayers focus on our American citizens and not to squander around, even to some countries who are not friendly with us. It does not make sense. That's what I'm saying. Our federal government, especially our Congress, and include both U.S. House and U.S. Senate, are dysfunctional. There are lots of good things going on, but there are lots of bad things going on too. It takes you full time to keep track of them. That's what I do. I'm very blessed. I have time freedom because we run our home business to watch them, to follow the bills. But sometimes I even don't have time to do that because I'm running, have to trying to connect with people on my campaign trail. Yeah.
Plus sometimes I hear with the bills, they only give them like a few hours. They have to read, a couple hundred pages in order to
they
make a decision.
did pass something to say 72 hours. But can you read 3,000 pages in 72 hours? And who writes those bills? Lobbyists with leadership. And if I'm new Congresswoman, I don't have much say in that. Just say, 72 hours, let's vote on this. What are you for? So I will say, I'm independent-minded. I'm not that partisan. If you elect me, I'm going to represent you. If they ask me to, say, vote for this, and I have no time to read it, I will just not participate to vote. I need to study, I need to research. Even with AI, maybe you can get help to read it very fast to get a summary. But also fundamentally, I want them not to procrastinate, not to do this big giant bill anymore. Start from beginning of the budget year, like every business, right? You have to budget, hey, New Year comes. What is my budget for the New Year? You know what is the budgeting right now? It's called spend it or lose it. Let's say your agency got $1 billion this year. For next year budget, if you don't spend this $1 billion, you don't get it. So you have to spend it like, we have to spend it by this day. Go buy a coffee cup for $1,000 or something. I mean, that's what I heard from, I think last time, like a Pentagon or something.
Wow.
It's crazy. We waste money like that. I want to zero-based budgeting. Okay, hey, now we're going through a hard time, $40 trillion in debt. Let's start, every agency start with zero to justify your budget and propose that. And the Congress just have not done that. So it's screwed up. I'm sorry to tell you that. Lots of people might not know the details, but I have been following politics since the 90s. And I got activated actually 2012, so it's about 14 years ago. I just no longer, because I become new American citizen, I feel it's my duty to hold my government accountable. And the young people should be independent-minded. Do your own research. Don't listen to just the social media, your politician talking point. You have AI now. Why can't you do research, right? And listen to all sides. I listen to all sides. I would love to have a conversation with even Democrat socialists, but if they invite me, or the progressive, if they invite me, and I'm willing to debate my opponent if they host a debate. Or say, I think, I'm an open book, so I can have a conversation with everyone.
As of now, it looks like you're the front runner to be the nominee for the 2026 Congressional District 2. against Maggie Goodlander. What do you think, what strategy do you have, do you think, that would help you win? Of course, there was a very close vote last time, but to like push you over that edge at least?
Yeah. Well, I have to work a lot harder. I need to encourage, inspire every person in my district. If you're not happy with the direction the country is going, your life is going, and you want to make an impact, because it doesn't matter you like politics or not, they don't leave you alone. They pass laws, they print money, they affect your life, they affect your gas prices, your housing prices, your family costs. And so you have no choice. As an American citizen, you have to get engaged. You have to participate. And if you think I'm real deal, even though in terms of cash, I'm 1-4 now against the Congresswoman Goodlander. She has the machine backer. She's married to Jake Sullivan. Jake Sullivan, her husband, worked for Obama, Biden, and Hillary Clinton. It's a big power machine couple I'm running against. And she worked for Biden and DOJ, and she basically worked in DC, in the swamp for 16 years. She left New Hampshire for 16 years and only moved back 2024 in May to have millions of dollars to get this open seat because Congresswoman Ann Coster retired. So then people need to know she lied to the people in our district. Congress needs more renters. She's not a real renter. She's a fake renter. Okay, she owns a mansion in Portsmouth, a house in DC, and she rented an apartment in Nashua. Are you kidding me? Before you even get elected, you already start to not to tell the whole truth about yourself? That's not integrity.
Of course, it's outside the district too, so it's
New Hampshire actually allow you to run. Doesn't matter which district you live in.
Okay.
But it just doesn't look good.
No, not at all. Yeah.
Yeah, it's like I live in Ware, which is District 2. Oh, because the District 1 is more red, I'm going to run in District 1. I just don't like that.
Of course, if you live there, it would make sense. It's like where you live, is where you should run for. But
she can still run for city too, but but she just cannot lie that are you really a renter? Did you really live in the apartment?
Yeah.
And you're worth $20 to $30 million. That's why my viral debate, if you have not watched that viral debate clip, like 1 minute, go watch it. Like you are wealthy, I call her out, her lying. I call that deception. People need to know that the truth telling as a politician, as a representative elected by the people, that's extremely important. That should be number one criteria. Do you tell the people the truth or not? That's what I'm doing. Ask me anything, because I have nothing to hide. You can attack me all you want, but I have the courage to show up, to say, what you said, what you did, explain that. Okay. And you voted this way, you voted that way. Like she has not had a town hall since last June. She's been in Congress for how long now? Almost 2 years. And she's asking for re-election. So how come have town halls, ask me anything like Lily, and to face people's questions? Why did you vote for keep men in women's sport, not protect women? And why did you vote present in lots of issues, like including, like a support of law enforcement and co-opt the fraud, and why did you vote against permitting reforms that will give us less red tape in terms of permitting process and for the oil, gas, and new business, energy supplies? Because in order to encourage people and to bring down energy costs, then you need to cut the red tapes, right? She only focuses on, clean energy. I mean, how many clean energy can we use in New Hampshire in the winter here? 13%. Mm-hmm. Because those crazy green mandates, New Hampshire is part of ISO, New England. So our electricity grid is tied to New England, like a whole New England states. And they all are blue states except us. And they want the climate change mandate. They want to mandate it by what year you got to go to net zero, whatever And they will not allow the pipeline to be built from New York to New Hampshire. Pennsylvania has this huge natural gas resources, can go to New York, build a pipeline, come here. No, they say no. So now I want to focus on bring down energy prices, right? So I want to focus on maybe we can go nuclear and SMRs. So there are all kinds of ways to say, I don't care what energy. I just want to have the options to bring down people's prices, whatever we can do. And there are lots of federal policies about that. We need to work on that in order to get the New Hampshire people more affordable energy. So, I mean, so I think the way to defeat her is to have more conversation, more interviews like this, more debates. And last cycle, 3 college campuses wanted us to debate. Dartmouth College, and Plymouth State University, New England College. She said no.
She said no to all 3.
So I only had a real true debate. It's WMUR. I went viral, but it was 5 days before election, Halloween night. It was too late. When I got the RFK endorsement, MAHA movement endorsed me, and it was 2 days before the election. Lots of people already voted the absentee ballots. And I did not have money or time to do anything after that. But we still got 47%. That was very challenging. So I'm hoping if you have skin in the game, if you truly want to a real voice represent you, I'm challenging all the young people, all your generation, Gen Zs, getting involved. You can make difference. Gen Z voters in New Hampshire 2nd District can make me the winner to truly represent the people's voice in Washington, D.C. But sign up to volunteer, get a sign, host more roundtables and debates.
Yeah, very fascinating. Do you have like any, I guess, alliances with like the Libertarian Party? New Hampshire is kind of like almost like a libertarian state. So,
Well, I say people, I do get we have questions like that, even attacks like that, because when you search my name, I was a part of a Libertarian Party running for office in Colorado. The internet will not tell you, and because I was not active and like getting interviews running for office, I was Republican for 13 years in Colorado. And the reason I left because I got upset with their same big government policies. Do you remember George W. Bush is the one who said capitalism failed, we need to bail out the big banks.
yeah, towards the end of his term, in 2008, yeah.
Top billions of dollars to bail the big banks who actually misbehave themselves, and they should suffer the consequences. That's true free market capitalism. You do not use our taxpayers' money to bail them out. And also, he's a Patriot Act. Patriot Act, American citizens will be subject to government surveillance, sometimes without due process. I'm not okay with that. And so I got upset with those big government policies, and I left. And when I left, my husband told me about third party. So I went to their events, and I said, oh, those are freedom-loving people. They were all former Republicans who wanted to balance budget, who wanted to limit truly small limited government. So you cannot blame me when I put my principle above the party. We are a very independent state, purple state. Don't you want somebody who is independent-minded, not to just blindly vote with the party, even though your party sometimes can be wrong? And I think that and we are the most public libertarian state anyway. Then Reagan said the heart of conservatism is actually libertarianism. That means truly small, limited government. And but look, we have $40 trillion in debt. What I can do about it? You think Republicans going to fix that problem? Require independence, public push them because independents decide the elections. I'm not, of course, I discovered actually as third party, I was not effective. I knew I could not get elected, but I gained lots of experience and practice. And also I disagree with some of their, platforms. And so I have basically become like a conservatory. I'm still Liberty Republican, but more conservatory, and to talk about fiscal responsibility and trying to get in like a big corporations and big government and out of this alliance with each other and truly become like Republican Party is a common sense party, wanted to represent the working class. That's what the American First movement is about. It's not about the corporations first, not about special interests first, or foreign countries first. It's about Americans first. And I want to put New Hampshire first because we balanced budget. We have New Hampshire advantages, and we are the #1 free state, and with the lowest tax burden, overall tax burden, and the Constitution carry all that good stuff. We are the like example, a role model for all the other New England states. Some people want to become like us. That's why they move here if they give up New York like you, right?
Of course.
So that I want to share, bring New Hampshire values of live free or die, and the fiscal responsibility, and to DC, to let them know I stand for New Hampshire and for New Hampshire people. What you're doing is going to harm the people who elect me to serve them. Then I have to say no. So I want to be that truthful, independent voice, and totally not for sale. I always say my slogan is Lily for Liberty. That's my handle on X. Lily for Liberty, not for sale.
That's tremendous. Yeah, that's wow.
You never heard that other politician tell you that?
No, not at all.
I'm
No.
not a politician. I'm true American patriot. I just want to give back. Also, think about somebody like me come here, survive communism, and then you see Americans going down the same path. It hurts me. It makes me feel sad. And see our young people tell me, American dream is dead. It's really, so I'm sorry I get emotional.
No.
So I want the people to check me out.
Of course.
To see if it is real deal or not. And so they can make a well-informed decisions. And I want our people to strive, have economic opportunities, and have the American dream alive. That's why you see my slogan, I'm fighting to keep American dream alive.
Yes.
For my children, for you generation,
Yes.
and for you children. And I hope this will be some kind of movement, at least in our state, that, and I don't mind to be that person that you trust. I will be totally honored to serve people with integrity, transparency, and honor. So I'm asking for you guys to support me. Help me win.
Absolutely, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, you can find Lily Tang Williams at lilytangwilliams.com. Have any closing comments? Or?
So if you are on social media, I know lots of young people on social media. I need help with social media on TikTok. If you're on TikTok, I don't have that account. I am on Instagram, x.com. I have my own YouTube channel. I have my own Facebook page, Lily for Congress. Follow me, share my messages, and come to my town hall or trying to host one, because I like to have the young people rally behind me. If you have a college student, if you have high school friends or older enough to vote, get them activated and to say, Lily is running to keep American dream alive. She's not that partisan. She will listen to us. She will not sell us out. Most important is that have the courage for a politician to say, I'm not for sale because I'm representing people in my district. I'm putting them first. And that's the most important thing for you to go out there and spread the words, share my messages, and come to my town halls, meet and greet, and host events for me. We can even do rally. We can sing music. We can sing songs, to make it fun, And it's not all about the politics. I want young people to actually to be happy, to have fun, because this is still best country on earth. Sky is the limit. We need to fix our problems. It's got lots of issues right now, but you know what? There's no place like America, and then there's no place even like New Hampshire. So we need to work together and to make things happening, and that's good and for all Americans in all the Granite Staters and all the young generations like yours.
All right, yeah. This has been an excellent interview, and obviously you showed a lot of passion and a lot of very good points and everything, and definitely looking forward to seeing you get to nominee and see if you can win the election. In
Yes,
November.
September 8th.
September 8th. Okay.
Yeah, I also have a parade on Labor Day.
Okay.
At Milford, and we want to have the organic, 100% organic grassroots turnout for Lily. Make it biggest. There's no car limit, so you can have cars and trucks. You can walk with me. We'll hold the Lily signs, and it's also celebrate American 250th birthday, the greatest country on earth. So come to join us. We'll give you signs. We'll give you T-shirt to wear. And the next day, September 8th, is a primary. And so we want you to hold my signs at the polling stations. So I want the people to say, Lily is not endorsed by anybody. She only raised money from a graduate, individual grassroots donors, but she has our support because we trust her. She's real deal. Let's get lots of people turn out for her. If we try our best, I think we can win because it's just up to, I'm just one person. My ability is limited. But you, look, today you are a total stranger to me. You are interview me to have a conversation with me. I really appreciate that, and thank you for for coming here and for Hudson Community TV, and to allow this kind of conversations here. We need more of this. So I'm hoping that just by people let them to watch this and join me on the campaign trail. And I have a Berlin, Cowas County, like town hall coming up on 29th. I have a debate for people to watch on, I think on New Hampshire Journal. And this, and 27th, I will have a first primary debate in, I think, the Institute of Politics at St. Anselm's College.
Okay.
So you will be live streamed on their YouTube channel, 27, 6 p.m. I love debate, so that's why I wanted to people to have more debate, not less. So after I won the nomination on September 8th, I'm going to challenge then Congress woman Gerlander to debate me, at least on 3 college campuses. Last time she turned down. And also, I want to go to community colleges. I want people to have an option to say community college is a wonderful alternative if you don't want to get into debt, don't want to borrow lots of money and have a 4 years college degree, go to trade school, go to our community colleges. And I want to go, I have never gone down to the community college event yet. I would love to this time. So I'm hoping that we have quite a few community colleges in our state. I'd like to have conversations with them.
Yeah, it seems like something that could be doable. Yeah.
So thank you so much for having me here. I really appreciate. Yes,
appreciate it,
it's great. Yes, yeah.
Yes. Yeah. This has been the conclusion to the Lily Tang Williams interview. I appreciate everybody watching, and everybody have a nice day.